Welcome to Ganitika.com. This is a website for mathematics lovers, learners, and leaders. This is the fifth video in the series of videos on the solutions to paper 3 questions for AAHL. In this video, I'll be solving question 1 of May 2021 Time Zone 2, paper 3. I have given you the links for the previous 4 videos in the description below. These videos cover both the questions from specimen paper 3 and both the questions from May 2021 Time Zone 1, paper 3. In these videos, I'll be giving you some tips on time management and thinking process along with the solutions. Before we start, please have a printed copy of this question paper in front of you along with a notebook, pen and a GDC so that you can solve along with me. Are you ready? This question carries 31 marks in total. So you have approximately 30 to 35 minutes. If you can finish it within 25 minutes, you are in a very safe zone. So time yourself accordingly. This question asks you to explore the behavior and some key features of the function fn of x is equal to x to the power of n times a minus x to the power of n, where a is any positive real number and n is a positive integer. If you watch the video for question 1 May 2021 Time Zone 1 paper 3, I have explained what the words behavior and key features of a function mean. Behavior means shape of the function, whereas key features mean x-intercepts, y-intercepts, points of inflection, maximum, minimum or any stationary point. All these points are key features of the graph, whereas the shapes give you the behavior of the graph. In this case, the function is x power n, a minus x the whole power n, where a is a positive real number and n is greater than or equal to 1, n is an integer. This is what the condition we have. So this is what we are going to deal with. Before we go further, let's analyze this question a little bit so that we keep ourselves ready for this question. Okay. So for n equal to 1, it will be x times a minus x, n equal to 2, x square times a minus x the whole square. For n equal to 3, it's going to be x cube times a minus x the whole cube, and so on. So you can make a note of these things on your notebook. It's also given that in parts a and b, we are only considering the value of a as 2. Therefore, in all these cases, fn of x is going to be x power n times 2 minus x the whole power n. So in these functions that you have already written, you can write these functions with a equal to 2 and try to graph them on your graphing calculator and get a picture of how these graphs are going to look like for different values of n. So before you proceed further, take some time to identify the graphs of these functions. This question is asking you to sketch the graph of f1 of x. You have already graphed this before and now you have to just sketch them on your paper. But while sketching, you have to give any axis intercepts or any local or maximum points. You can see that axis intercepts means x-intercepts and y-intercept. Maximum or minimum points, you notice that you are not supposed to give any points of inflection if you have them on your graph. So you just need to give these 4 points from your graph. So take your GDC, sketch the graph of x times 2 minus x and sketch them on your paper. So do not forget to mark the axis x and y. Sketching the graph of x times 2 minus x, it looks like this, and marking the important points. You have 2 x-intercepts and this is also y-intercept, and this is maximum point and this is another x-intercept. These are the 3 points you should have marked on your sketch, and this is all for 3 marks. It's quite easy. And you notice that there are no minimum points in this graph and you have only 2 intercepts and a maximum point for this particular function. The next question is asking you to use the graphing calculator to explore the graph of fn of x for odd values and even values of n. You are going to graph for n equal to 3 and n equal to 5 on your graphing calculator, and for n equal to 2 and n equal to 4. And you are going to just fill the table given below. You are not going to sketch the graph on your papers. So use your GDC. Find out the number of local maximum and number of local minimum points and number of stationary points of inflection, and just fill this table. Take your GDC now. Find these values for n equal to 3 and n equal to 5. So for these two values of n, the functions are going to be x cube times 2 minus x the whole cube and x power 5 times 2 minus x to the power of 5. And for these two values of n, it's going to be x square times 2 minus x the whole square and x power 4 times 2 minus x to the power of 4. So these are the four functions you are going to graph on your graphing calculator. First, you can find the answers for odd values. So this is going to be your graph for n equal to 3 and n equal to 5. You can notice that you have two stationary points of inflection and one maximum point, and there is no minimum point. Therefore, you can fill the table like this. Local maximum points, there are only one. There is no local minimum points, and there are two stationary points of inflection. So you will be filling up this table as 1, 0 and 2. For the next set of values n equal to 2 and n equal to 4, the graphs would look like this, and you can see that there are two minimum points but one maximum point, and there are no stationary points of inflection. So you are only asked to find the stationary points of inflection. So there is no stationary point of inflection. You have two local minimum points and one local maximum point. So this is how you fill this table, and this is all you need to do for this question. It is for 6 marks and you would take 2 minutes to do this question if you had spent some time in the beginning to analyze the graphs for different values of n. So totally for question A and B you have 9 marks and you might have spent 4 to 5 minutes for this. You can save a lot of time in these two questions. So be careful and make a note of this on time management. So let's proceed further to the next question. Question C is asking you to find the derivative of the given function for positive real values of a and positive integer for n. So for finding the derivative of fn of x, you need to use product rule here. So using product rule, you can find the derivative of fn of x. Pause the video here, write down the derivative of x power n times a minus x the whole power n now, and then continue with the video. So this is the expression for the derivative of fn of x using product rule. But if you notice the question, the answer is in the form of product of factors, but in your answer you are still not having the product of factors. Let's consider some common terms that can be taken out as factors. In this case, n and n are common, so you can take n as a common factor. And considering x power n minus 1 and x power n, you can see that x power n minus 1 is the common factor. And considering these two terms, a minus x to the power of n, you can still see that a minus x to the power of n minus 1 is a common factor that can be taken out. And once you consider all these things, the remaining terms are a minus x from the first term and minus x from the second term. So this is what you have as the last factor. So combining them all, you get what is required for the question. So this is again pure algebra for 5 marks. It's not going to be difficult at all. So finding derivative of this function is going to be very simple using product rule. So it's not going to be a difficult question again. Simplifying the function is just a factorizing type of question. So you can easily factorize the derivative function and bring it to the answer that is required. So this again is not going to take much time. It might take little less than 3 minutes. So you still have some extra time to be saved for the later question. So this question actually can be completed within 25 minutes. Going further to question D, you have to find the 3 solutions to the equation of the derivative equal to 0. So making the derivative equal to 0, solve this equation. You have 3 factors. X power n minus 1 equal to 0 gives you x is equal to 0. A minus 2x is equal to 0 gives you x is equal to a over 2. And a minus x power n minus 1 equal to 0 gives you x is equal to a. So you have the 3 solutions for the derivative function equal to 0. This is only for 2 marks, so you have answered the question easily. But before going further, take a moment to analyze what you have done so far. So what does this question mean? You have solved the equation derivative equal to 0, which means you have found 3 stationary points for any value of n. So whether n is even or odd doesn't matter. You have found 3 stationary points for this. Going back and considering the graphs of the functions, for even values of n, you had the graph like this. And you can notice that 0 and a gave you minimum points, and at x is equal to a over 2, you had a maximum point. So 0, a over 2, a, all of them gave you a stationary point in this case for even values of n. For odd values of n, the graph looked like this. And you still can see that 0 and a gave you stationary points of inflection, whereas x is equal to a over 2 gave you the maximum point. Another information you can get from here is, in both the cases, whether n is even or n is odd, in both the cases at x is equal to a over 2, you have the maximum point. So this is something to be noted at this stage before you go further. So in this paper, it's always important to collect what you have done so far after answering each question, so that you know where we stand in that particular question. So at this moment, since you are asked to find the 3 solutions to the derivative equal to 0 equation, you know that you have found the stationary points. You should think why we are asked to solve this equation. We are asked to solve this equation to identify that a over 2 is always giving you a maximum point whether n is even or n is odd. And at 0 and a, we have either minimum points or stationary points of inflection for different values of n. And this is what you have to collect at this point of time. Once you have this ready, you can continue to the next question. The next question is asking you to find the y value for x is equal to a over 2. And you have to show that this is always above the horizontal axis, which is x-axis. You have to substitute a over 2 in this function, which is easy to do. You can pause the video here, substitute, and see if you can show that this is always positive. Remember, a is positive and n value is also positive integers. So this is how you substitute a over 2 for x, and simplifying this, you will get the final expression to be a over 2 to the power of 2n for the y value at x is equal to a over 2. And you have to show that this is positive. So why is it positive? We have 2 parts in this expression. One is the base a over 2. You can see that this base is positive because a is positive. So raising a positive number to a power will always give you a positive value. So this is going to be positive in this case. You can also consider the power, which is even. 2n is always even. Raising any number to an even number is always positive. So in either way, you can give either one of these as reasons for this question. So these 2 are the reasons for saying that this is always going to be positive. So fn of a over 2 is always positive for any positive real numbers and for any integer value of n greater than 1. And this might have a reason mark because you are supposed to show that it is always above the horizontal axis. So you need to have one of the reasons, as I stated here, either a is greater than 0 gives a over 2 positive. Therefore, the base positive gives you the whole expression to be positive. Or the power is an even number. Therefore, anything raised to the even number is always positive. Therefore, the y value at a by 2 is always positive. So either one of these reasons should be stated in your answer paper. So you have shown that the maximum point is always above the horizontal axis, which is also seen from the graphs that you have drawn so far. So it matches with the graph that you have drawn. You have also given the general proof for this. Going further, question F is a hence question. So you have to use the previous results for this. So derivative at a over 4 is positive is what you need to prove here. For that, let's bring back the derivative function. You need to simply substitute x value as a over 4 and simplify this. As you did for fn of a over 2, you also have to show that this is positive for positive real values of a and positive integers of n. So this is only for 2 marks, shouldn't take more than a minute for this. So once you substitute the values of a over 4 for x, you will get the expression like this. You don't have to simplify this further. You have to just show that this is positive. So since a is positive, all the 3 factors are going to be positive. Therefore, raising a positive power to any value is going to be a positive value, and n is also positive integer. Therefore, all the 4 factors are positive. So therefore, the total value is going to be a positive number for positive n values and positive a values. So because n is positive and a is positive, we have fn dash of a over 4 is positive. So we have proved this as well. Why are we asked to prove for a over 4? At this moment, you have to think why we are asked to find the derivative at x is equal to a over 4. Where is this x is equal to a over 4 which is situated on the graph? It is between x is equal to 0 and x is equal to a over 2. We note that x is equal to 0, it is either minimum or stationary point of inflection. At x is equal to a over 2, it is having another stationary point which is a maximum. Therefore, it is going to be an increasing function between 0 and a over 2. So you can collect all this information at this point and keep it in mind before you proceed to the next question. The next question is asking you to use the results from part F. We just proved that in part F, the derivative at x is equal to a over 4 is positive. And also you are supposed to find the signs of the derivative function at x is equal to -1. Pause the video here. Use this function and substitute x as -1 and find out the signs for this particular function. So when you substitute x is equal to -1, you get this as your expression for fn dash of -1. And you can see that n is positive. A plus 2 is positive because a is positive. A plus 1 is positive. Therefore, all the three terms are positive except this term, which is going to give you the sign of the whole expression. In this case, the sign of this depends on whether n is even or n is odd. When n is even, n minus 1 is odd. When n is odd, n minus 1 is even. Therefore, raising -1 to the power of odd will give you negative value, and raising -1 to the power of even number will give you positive 1. Therefore, when n is even, the fn dash of -1 is going to be negative, whereas when n is odd, it's going to be positive. So these are the signs for fn dash of -1 for even values of n and for odd values of n. So you can segregate the values of n into even and odd. For even, there is one result. For odd, there is a different result. So we are going to analyze both the results now. We are going to look for the point 0, 0. So we have -1 from this solution. We have 0 and 0. And we also have from part F, a over 4. So if you make the number line, we have the positions of -1, 0 and a over 4 like this. Since a is positive, it is to the right of 0. So we can find the signs of the derivative function at these 3 points so that we can identify what happens at x is equal to 0 in this case. So for even n values, you got that fn dash of -1 was negative. At 0, it is 0. At a over 4, it is positive from the result of question F. Therefore, this is the sign diagram we have for fn dash of x for even values of n, which gives you negative, 0 and positive, giving you a local minimum at x is equal to 0 for even values of n. For odd values of n, pause the video here, do the same thing and prove that you have a stationary point of inflection at x is equal to 0. Shall we proceed? We just proved that fn dash of -1 is positive, and we know that fn dash of 0 is 0, and we also know that fn dash of a over 4 is always positive. Therefore, looking at the sign diagram for this, it's positive, 0, positive. Therefore, this is a stationary point of inflection for n odd values. Therefore, what we needed to prove is being proved. Local minimum point for even n values and stationary point of inflection for odd n values. This is what we have proved at the moment. Let's go further. Consider the graph of y equal to x power n a minus x to the power of n minus k. We are supposed to state the conditions on n and k for which the function fn of x equal to k has 4 solutions for x. For this, we need to consider both even and odd values of n. So let's first take the even values of n. Bring the graph here. So for even values of n, the graphs looked like this. We have 2 minimum points and 1 maximum point. But we need to draw y equal to k lines on this and see which lines meet the graph at 4 different points. For example, if I draw 4 different y equal to k lines like this, you can see that the first line meets the curve only at 2 points, which means we have only 2 solutions. We don't have 4 solutions in this case. Therefore, we are not going to take this line. In the next line, we can see that it meets the curve at 3 points. Again, we don't want this line because this is not giving us 4 solutions. Whereas if you consider this line, it has 4 solutions. So any line in this space will give you 4 points. Therefore, this can be considered for our solution. In the last case where it is x-axis, you have only 2 points. Therefore, x-axis is also not a solution. On the x-axis, the k value is equal to 0. And if you notice, this point is the maximum point and the coordinates are a over 2 and a over 2 to the power of 2n. This is obtained from question D and E. Therefore, the line which is going through the maximum point will have the k value as a over 2 to the power of 2n, and the lines above that will be having a k value greater than a over 2 to the power of 2n. So these two are not going to be considered, and k equal to 0 is also not going to be considered. The values in between 0 and the maximum point is going to be considered for our answer. Therefore, the k value is going to be 0 less than k less than a over 2 to the power of 2n for even values of n. So this is what we get as the condition for k for even values of n. For odd values of n, let's bring the graphs for odd values of n. The graphs when n is odd look like this, and if you draw different horizontal lines for different k values, you can see there is never going to be 4 solutions in this case. Therefore, for odd values of n, there is no such k where you get 4 solutions. So we have 4 solutions only when n is even and only when k is between 0 and the maximum y value. And for odd n values, there is not going to be any such k for which it gives you 4 solutions. This is the answer for the final part of this question, and we are done with this question. It shouldn't have taken you more than 25 minutes to solve this question if you have been keeping track of the results that you have been getting for each question. So keep a rough paper with you and write down all the information that you are getting from each question in that rough paper, so that you can always have a check on what we are doing in each question and how they are connecting with each other. So it's important that you have a rough paper near you. Collect the results from each question and see the connection between all the questions as you proceed in this paper. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Until next video with question 2 of the same paper. Bye bye.